Good evening, Guardians, and welcome back to another episode of Tower Talk. This is episode number 33. I'm Ben on the other end of the microphone there. That's Brent. We're here on behalf of Short Pause. www.shortpause.com is the website, at the Short Pause. That's how you follow us on Twitter. So Tower Talk is our Destiny-focused video discussion series where Brent, you and I hop in here. We talk any and everything in the world of Destiny. We have a damn fine time doing it. You, sir, are under the weather. And typically we run Tower Talk on Thursdays, but you were out of it Thursday, so that was not an option. So here we are, Saturday night. You're a little bit better, still not out of the woods yet. How you feeling, bud?
You know, I'm trying to survive, dude. In Michigan, we have to deal with all sorts of different types of weather, and when the temperatures are going all the way up and then crashing all the way down, my body is just not. As long as I've lived here, it's still not quite where it needs to be to handle that sort of thing, but. Feeling a little bit better, but I'm going to try to talk to a minimum just because I got that tickle right here in my chest, and I'll start coughing, and then there's phlegm everywhere, and it's really gross and disgusting.
Projectile phlegm.
A lot of it, yeah.
I know, that's if you have that on your bucket list, make Brent projectile phlegm live on stream.
It's unpleasant.
This might be the time to get it done. So let me get this straight. So you're telling me that over the past week, when we saw an 80-degree variation in temperature over the course of a couple days,
unreal,
that your body wasn't ready for that?
No, man, it wasn't. And you know what? And
dude, get good, man.
I'm trying to be a good parent and blaming the weather, but when Junior's coughing in my face every 5 minutes because his reflexes are a little slow. Like he gets the first 3 coughs out, and then he's like, "Oh crap," and then puts his. So I get like the first couple blasts in the face. So I'm going to be the adult here. I'm going to be the good parent and say it was the weather, but Junior played a part in it.
Yeah, as Junior typically does.
Yes, he does.
I know all about that, but hey, keep crushing that vitamin C, man. Smashing the orange juice. Sprinkling ginger on your face. Whatever your grandmother told you to do when you were a kid. Just keep doing that stuff, man.
Got it.
And you'll be back to 100% in no time. So. Enough about you, though. This is all about Destiny. So
yes. We
are in a very interesting time in the life of Destiny 2 right now. So we're in sort of the calm before the storm, I like to call it, Brent. So we had, for week after week after week after Black Armory came out, there were new forges being added, new quests. There was a lot of things going on in the world of Destiny. We had a bit of a holiday break there, and then for all intents and purposes, we've essentially completed the new content available with Black Armory with the release of the Last Word quest last week. So now that that's kind of in the books, we're in this sort of holding period between now and the end of the season when Season of the Drifter starts. Season of the Drifter, a season that they've hinted a little bit at with us, but they haven't gone full bore with what that thing is going to look like. So we're in this period right now. We're sitting at February 9th as we're recording this, and by all accounts, the beginning of March will be the start of Season of the Drifter and the start of the next season of Destiny 2 Forsaken. So we're on the precipice of some big news here in terms of what we can expect from Season of the Drifter and all of this new content that's going to come with us in that season. But in the meantime, we've got events and things popping up here, and that's going to be the main focus of the show tonight. Is we're going to talk about Crimson Days, which is the last event prior to Season of the Drifter. We're going to get another Iron Banner in here somewhere. So there's things to do. There's lots of activities that have cropped up over the course of this season. So if you haven't had a chance to get the role that you wanted on the Forge weapons, like that stuff's still going to be going on every week. If you haven't completed any of the Pinnacle weapon activities, whether that's the Mountaintop and the Crucible, whether that's the Loaded Question in the Strikes or the Breakneck and Gambit, that's still going on for a lot of people. There's still the Last Word quest. There's still a number of exotics out there. There's Izanagi's Burden. There's a number of things on that list that I have yet to do myself, Brent. So I've actually got quite a bit that I can do prior to the end of the season here, leading into Season of the Drifter. But this is the calm before the storm, dude. So if you've completed all that stuff, you can have a nice casual ramp up to the next iteration of Destiny with the Joker's Wild DLC. So you can spend it how you want. If you want to do the Crucible, if you want to try and get God rolls on whatever weapon you look for, like you have that option. But some of us, we're like, all right, it's crunch time. We gotta start knocking out some of this stuff prior to the start of the next season with Season of the Drifter. So yeah, Brent, I mean, we have to be pretty close to like a full on reveal of what this season's going to entail, right? I mean, maybe as early as next week. What are your thoughts, man? What are you going to be doing in this build up to Season of the Drifter? How do you feel about where you're at in Destiny right now, and where the game's at as we ramp up to this mysterious next piece of content?
Yeah, you basically summed it up, dude. I mean, we're just trying to tie up some odds and ends, finish up a few things. What's up, Flaro? How you doing tonight, buddy? Yeah, just trying to get some things wrapped up and then prepare ourselves for Crimson Days. We got some items to chase there. And then, I would expect, a tease maybe next week. And then the following week, I think it'd be ideal for them to kind of start pulling back the curtain a little bit and give us a peek of what Joker's Wild is going to be all about.
Yeah, I expect to get at least some information next week, if not a big chunk of information about it next week, or if not next week, then the following week for sure. So it'll be interesting to see, because we don't really know much about it, Brent. We know some of the things that they've hinted at with like the clan rewards and some of the things we've talked about, but by and large, we don't know what that content is going to be about. Mm-hmm. We don't know what this new form of Gambit is going to be. Is old Gambit still going to be available? Is this going to be a brand new Gambit? Are there going to be new quests that dive into the Drifter, who, if you've been paying attention to this game, he's involved in a lot of stuff outside of Gambit. He's a very interesting character, and there's a lot in the dark recesses of the Drifter story that I think can be mined. So, what kind of quests and new activities are we going to be privy to with that? I believe this is the update that has the Xur bounties coming into play with Season of the Drifter as well. We haven't heard anything about that. Super curious about what that's going to be, and if it's going to lead to what I think it leads to, which is the ability to re-roll exotic armor. Is that stuff going to be into play? So there's a lot of questions and a lot of answers that are going to be forthcoming here in the coming weeks that I think makes it exciting. But right now we're in the calm, calm before the storm.
I tell you what's calming is Flaro is watching this while walking on a treadmill.
Oh,
hell yeah, dude!
Good stuff, Flaro.
And Flaro, if that, what, dude? Here's some incentive, dude. Walk on the treadmill, or you look like this. This is how you look if you don't walk on a treadmill. So good for you. Keep it up. We'll get you through the next 30, 40 minutes, man, of your workout. That's awesome.
Dude, the synergy between Flaro's workout and the image on screen right now is uncanny. It's almost like we planned it. So, yeah. So that is kind of where we're at in the world of Destiny right now. But let's talk about the last kind of big thing that's going to happen prior to the Joker's Wild DLC, and that's Crimson Days. So it comes back this Tuesday, February 12th. This is an event we've had throughout the years of Destiny ever since it first started. This is their Valentine's event, and it's always centered around this 2v2 doubles version of the Crucible, where you and a partner go in there against another duo. You guys can revive and keep each other alive, and there's some interesting mechanics that go into play. It's round based. If you stay close to your partner, your abilities recharge at a faster rate. If you stray too far away, your enemies will be given a waypoint to your location. So it's very important that you guys stick together, not only because of that, but because if you die, you can revive. And there's some cool mechanics going on with doubles. And I actually do really enjoy doubles, man. If you get in there with a partner, you guys are communicating, it can be a pretty intense match, especially if one of those other guys goes rogue and he tries to separate from his partner and go get a heavy block or something like that, and then we know their location, let's go over there and get them. And there's a lot of cool stuff that comes into play with that version of Crimson doubles. So that will be back in play on Tuesday. And one of the things about Crimson Days, Brent, is it's a 1 week event. So things like Festival of the Lost and the Dawning and some of these things we've participated in recently, these are longer events that go over a course of weeks. Crimson Days, though, only available for this one scan week. So there's a lot to do in this 1 week. So let's talk a little bit about this version of Crimson Days. So you'll start out. So this is information that Bungie provided earlier this week on the blog. If you speak with Shaxx in the tower, you're going to get this emblem, Fire of the Crimson Days. He'll have 5 Crimson bounties available to you. So this is a new twist on Crimson, our first new twist on Crimson Days, that will have bounties available. So if you don't want to partake in the Crucible part of Crimson Days, the bounties actually factor in both PvE and PvP activities. So this is once again a first time thing for Crimson Days. So there's 4 daily bounties and 1 weekly bounty, and that weekly bounty actually calls for you to 2-man a Nightfall. So that's an interesting bounty. So I think that'll be a fun one to do. Because, dude, we've been doing Nightfalls recently, and we've just been absolutely crushing them with with a 3-man team. So I think the 2-man team definitely going to be doable. Let's talk about the rewards now. So last year from the Bungie blog, there's a series of rewards for completing specific activities. The rewards are returning, but the way you earn them has changed. Shacks will be giving out confectionery hearts for completing Crimson Doubles matches and turning in Crimson Bounties. You will use those to purchase the rewards. Some of you may have some or all of the rewards from last year, so we've added 2 new rewards for you to earn. Similar to Horror Story, in the last Festival of the Lost, a max power weapon will be available during Crimson Days. Shacks will be offering a new bow, the Vow, in exchange for confectionery hearts. So we got this pretty cool looking bow here that I'm eager to see what it's all about. As Horror Story was with Festival of the Lost, the Vow will come fully masterworked and is the first bow available to all players of Destiny 2. It will be powered 650 for all of our Forsaken players out there. They gave us a little sneak peek of this thing in action as well. So Brent, let me start here, man. So we got some of the basics of what Crimson Days are going to be. So same rewards as last Crimson Days with a couple of extra ones. We'll talk about some of the other extra ones here. But that 650 bow is very enticing. I don't know what its stats are going to be, what its archetype is. But I'm always down to get a fully masterworked, max power legendary weapon into the arsenal just for participating in an event. So very, very excited to get my hands on that. So we have the bounty system now, which I think is exciting because it brings in both PvE and PvP. This is going to play a little bit more like some of the events we've seen recently with Festival of the Lost and the Dawning. I think they were onto something with the way that they did those events. The community seems to have enjoyed the way that they played out. So we get those confectionery hearts that we're going to be earning and using those to buy things and whatnot. So let me get your thoughts on what you've heard so far with Crimson Days in terms of the basic structure of it. And I'm specifically curious about what you think about them offering this basically the same pool of rewards as the previous Crimson Days, with the exception of a couple things.
I don't have too many of those items from the previous one, so I guess that's a good thing. But for those of us that have maybe plowed through it all and they already have all those things, I can see how it would be a little disappointing. But the fact that we have a weapon in there now, and the bounty system isn't tied to the Crucible. I mean, there are some of them are, but you can still earn a lot of those confectionery hearts outside of Crucible. I think that's really nice. But yeah, obviously the bow is the big piece here, because I always like that. After we did that with the Horror Story, I like how this is still going to be something only the hardcore players are going to go for. You know, because they play it all day. They play every single day. They know they know Crimson Days is coming up. They know they only have a week to get it. So this is gonna be something that for completionists, people that like to collect all the weapons, it's a nice little reward for your effort. I like when they tie certain items, whether it's gear or a weapon, to a specific event. I really, really like that because it makes that event relevant, and it gives people, the hardcore fans, something to grind towards.
Yeah, and they kind of discovered that with Festival of the Lost. They bring in this new activity. They let us earn the Horror Story, and they saw how people like that. So they bring in the Dawning. They bring in the Avalanche as part of that, as a weapon specific to that activity. Now here we come with the next event, and lo and behold, another legendary, unique weapon that's only obtainable with this event. I like that. It's great to get emotes and ornaments and all that kind of stuff. That stuff's fun to earn and put on your character. But when you put a weapon or a significant piece of armor at the heart of one of these events, that just ups the ante that much more. Yeah. So I'm definitely digging what they're doing with the weapons in terms of this stuff. Some more notes on how Crimson Days is going to work here. So when you are playing Crimson Doubles, you'll earn 7 confectionery hearts with every win and 5 for every loss. So you're still bringing in the hearts, even if you don't get that victory. 5 is a pretty good number. Right. Each daily bounty will reward you with 15 hearts. Each daily bounty will reward you with 15 hearts. So if we're doing the math here, Brent, 4 daily bounties a day, that's 60 hearts you can earn just doing daily bounties every single day. That's a lot of hearts. The weekly Nightfall duo bounty, so this is something we'll obviously only be able to accomplish once per character, because this thing only lasts a week. But the Nightfall duo bounty will give you 75 hearts. 75. So, obviously that's a huge payout for that. So And just simply doing that in Nightfall is going to give you access to a lot of the stuff that's going to be for sale here. And just to go back to something else you said, Brent, so you mentioned that you don't have a lot of the Crimson Days items. So I think that's the part of this that I'm cool with as well. With this only being a week-long event, typically this is not something that goes longer than a week. It's very difficult to earn every single item that's available in Crimson Days unless you're just ultra hardcore and you literally just played this game all day every day for the 7 days that Crimson Days was available. I mean, we're talking about the 1% of the 1% probably who have all of the Crimson the items available to them. So I'm okay with them offering the same rewards, and I do like that they've spiced up a little bit with some extra ones. So just so everybody knows, here is how the confectionery hearts work out in terms of the costs for what Shaxx is offering. So the Tira Estrella Legendary Ghost Shell, that's going to be available for 25 hearts. So chump change, right? You can get that doing a bounty, or a couple bounties. The Undeterred Exotic Sparrow will be available for 50 hearts. The Vow, the Legendary Bow we've been talking about, only 100 hearts. I was a little surprised by this, but dude, you knock out a couple of the bounties. If you do the Nightfall and you do one of or two of the daily bounties, you got it. Simple as that. So that's going to be seemingly very easy to obtain. The Wardcliff Coil Ornament is going to be available for 125 hearts. The Flaunting Dance Legendary Emote will be available for 150 hearts. And then a Warm-Hearted Gift Packages will be available for 15, which I'll talk about that in 1 second. So, just to simply purchase one of these items is not too daunting. Like I said, if you just want to go in and obtain the bow, pretty simple. Do the Nightfall, do a couple of the bounties, or play a couple of doubles matches, and the thing is yours. But I think the challenge is going to come into those completionists who want to get their hands on everything. Then we're looking at 25 plus 50 plus 100 plus 125 plus 150 and so on and so forth. So that's where you get into the challenge of this week. Now, keep in mind that warm-hearted gift package I just mentioned. If you are still looking to spend your extra hearts, Shaxx will be offering a warm-hearted gift package that will give you a chance to receive enhancement cores, weapons, mods, gear, and resources. So if we cycle back once again to the Dawning, Brent, you remember Eva's oven, and when you would cook up those packages and you would take them to the different vendors around the universe, a lot of times they had a chance to give you an enhancement core. And some of them were pretty generous with those. So this could be a huge resource in terms of building up our stock of cores and mods and things, because it seems like it's going to be pretty easy to get some of this other stuff. So to be able to have those extra packages available for only 15, so that's, and if you do the daily bounties every day, that's 4 packages right there with the opportunity to get enhancement cores. So I really liked that part of the Dawning. I think most of the community liked that part of the Dawning. I know you liked that part of the Dawning.
I love that
so
part.
What do you think about the warm-hearted gift package being an option for us in Crimson Days here, man?
Dude, enhancement cores are coming at a premium right now. People want enhancement cores, and the fact that they're tying them into these warm-hearted gift packages for a very, very small price compared to everything else. I mean, you literally have to go in and lose 3 matches, and you can buy a gift package. So, I mean, it's really nice that they found another way to make enhancement cores a part of the rewards, and I think that's really, really great. Weapons, mods, gear, and resources, all that stuff is great. But, I mean, if they're churning out enhancement cores at the same rate they were to the baking of cookies and stuff, we're going to get a lot of enhancement cores. And see, the reason I want enhancement cores now, boys, isn't so much because I want to rank up a lot of my weapons. I've got most of my arsenal at 650. I'm going for the Masterworks now. Yeah. Now I'm trying to get these things Masterwork. That's what I'm going for in a lot of these things. And when you have an event like this, it makes it doable because Masterworking a weapon costs a lot of cores.
A lot.
It costs a lot of cores. So for something like that, for a lot of us who are at 650, who have our weapons at 650, this is a chance for us to go in there and really just hoard those cores and really masterwork all the weapons that we are always using.
Yeah. And that's part of the fun of getting to the max power rank in Destiny whenever you get to it. Once you get there, you can then start to really hone your arsenal and hone the way that your Guardian looks. So you've got the pieces of armor that you like. You've got those moved up to 650. You've got the weapons you like. You've got those at 650. Now it's a matter of finding the God rolls. And when you get one of those God rolls, you want to masterwork it. And you need the cores to do that. So, and with something like the forges in the Black Armory giving us a real legitimate avenue to getting God rolls on, at the very least, the weapons that the forges offer, there's a lot of weapons in our arsenal now that we want to masterwork and bring up to that full level. So yeah, I'm with you, dude. This could be a huge boon if if we spend the proper amount of time with it to build up some cores and stuff. So I love that that's part of this. I think it worked really well with the Dawning, and apparently Bungie got the feedback on that, so that's good to see. But that's not all. That's not all, Brent. Along with these rewards, there will be a set of Crimson Days triumphs for you to complete. So once again, very interesting because this is only a week-long event. So I've enjoyed the past couple events going in and knocking out the triumphs with those. So I'm going to see what's on the Crimson Days triumphs list and see if I can knock that out as well. We don't want to spoil all the treats and reveal the triumphs just yet, but we will let you know the sweet reward for completing them all. Ooh. So if you do manage to get all those triumphs done, you will actually earn the Crimson Days Sugary Ghost Shell, which basically turns your ghost into a giant Hershey bar. Yeah, your ghost turns into this like giant chocolate ghost. Not giant, but a regular sized chocolate ghost. So I want that. Definitely will be doing the triumph because I want my ghost to look like a Hershey Kiss, dude.
There you go.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. And Bungie has all of this listed on their website as well. So they have a Crimson Days help page. So if anything we're saying piques your interest at all and you want to see what it's all about, definitely hop over there and check it out. So another aspect of the events that's always exciting is double drops. So double drops will be back with Crimson Days. A Crimson Engram will drop with every Bright Engram a player earns. Crimson Engrams will also be available for silver, of course. The contents of the Engram have not changed. So if you didn't get everything you wanted last year or are new to Destiny, this is your chance to grab some of these items. So looking at this list here, Brent, yeah, there's several of these. I don't believe I have a number of these exotic ornaments. I know I didn't get the exotic emote, so I'm gonna try to get my hands on that heart and spread some love across the world of Destiny. I got the exotic sparrow, so I know I have that. I have a couple of these ghost shells, but there's several of these things I don't have. Several of the sparrows I don't have. Several of the legendary exotic ghost shells or legendary ghost shells I don't have. Pretty sure I don't have that Graviton Lance ornament or this what is that, the Prometheus lens or the Cold Heart, one of those.
Yeah, it's a trace rifle
ornament for one of those as well that I don't have. I do have that sweet business ornament, but yeah, so there's quite a few things I can still get my hands on with the Engram. So definitely happy to be earning that again. There's also a new emote. So the tiny bow emote and shot through the heart ornament for the Vow will also be available for direct purchase in Eververse bundles. So keep that in mind as well. We can see the ornament and the emote there. I think we've got them on the screen, correct, Brent?
Yes, sir.
So once again, this is a week-long event. Starts Tuesday and will conclude on the weekly reset at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday, February 19th. So when you add everything up together, Brent, if you want to get all the triumphs, get all the items, get the bow, participate in the doubles matches, get your hands on the emotes and everything else that's a part of Crimson Days, you're going to have a busy week ahead of you, man. When you take the sum of everything and put it all together, when you just look at the disparate elements of Crimson Days, and yeah, there's just, some new Crucible matches and there's a couple new bounties you can partake in, but when you put all this stuff together and kind of stir it up in this pot, there's going to be quite a bit for Destiny hardcore completionists to do this week during Crimson Days. Now I'm definitely going to be on there at one of them trying to get this stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. Badass Lord Tipsy in the chat. He goes, I want a flaming heart ghost projection. Well, I hope you get one, buddy.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, and the cool thing about this is, we talk about how, there's just, the same rewards and, a lot of these rewards can be bought for a pretty decent price, but this is going to be a busy event. This is going to be an event where you can achieve everything, but you're going to have to put the time into it. You're going to have to really hustle. You only get a week. This isn't like the Dawning. This isn't like Solstice of Heroes. This is a week-long event. That is it. 7 days. You have 7 days to get in there. So it's going to be a very busy event. You're going to have to spend a lot of nights every night playing to make sure you get everything, especially if you want to get some of those ornaments or some of those other things from the Eververse packages. So it's going to be a busy event, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's got some nice items in there. I don't think it's overly demanding, especially for people who play every single night like we do. But no, it should be this is a really cool event. I think this is really nice. One more big event. Then I expect Iron Banner to come shortly after that, and then we'll make our way into Joker's Wild.
Yes, sir. That sounds like a wonderful plan. One more thing we want to mention with Crimson Days too, Brent. One of the, I think, underappreciated things that Bungie's done in recent months has been Bungie Rewards. So they started this with Forsaken, and this is a super cool program. We've accessed some cool rewards over the months, but basically for accomplishing feats in the game, you have a chance to earn rewards through the Bungie store. You have to pay for them, but you unlock the right to buy them basically. So there's different shirts, there's different models, there's different we got the soundtrack for the game just for free actually for completing Forsaken early on when in the Bungie Rewards history. So just really cool stuff like that they're doing. I've really enjoyed this program, and I'm glad to see it continuing here. But they will have a new item available as a part of Crimson Days. So when earning the legendary bow from Shaxx the Vow, players will receive a discount code to unlock the Vow hoodie for purchase from Bungie Rewards. In addition, every purchase comes with a Bungie Foundation pin, and the Bungie store will donate $7 for each pin distributed during Crimson Days directly to support the Bungie Foundation's granting of technology wishes for Make-A-Wish in honor of you. So that's great. The Bungie Foundation is obviously a fantastic program. So I definitely am looking forward to getting in here, getting the bow, and then being contributing to this as much as possible. But yeah, I'm down for that hoodie, dude. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've been reaping up a lot of these rewards that have gone out with these different types of shirts and hoodies and whatnot. So I'm definitely going to try to work for this. I think I'd like to grab that hoodie. But yeah, it's awesome if they do stuff like this. But man, the Bungie Rewards thing is just turning out to be an awesome thing, in my opinion. I think it's just really cool how you can go in there in game and earn stuff in real life. I think that's really, really cool. I mean, yeah, again, you said you have to pay for it still, but you earn the right to pay for it. Not everyone can go in there and just buy this thing. So when you're wearing that thing, it's like, hey, look, I finished this mission. I earned the right to wear the shirt. And a lot of these items are actually pretty cool.
Yeah, they got some really good looking shirts. But the shirts that they make for Destiny are just sweet.
Oh yeah.
They have some really good looking stuff that they put as a part of this. They've got replicas of some of these weapons to commemorate your journey in obtaining them. So like that stuff is really cool. And like you said, it's there if you want it. So if you want to commemorate your journey, or those like really cool medallion pin sets you get for earning a title in the game, like those are sweet. If you're really invested in the game and you want to commemorate your accomplishment with something like that, more power to you, man. It's awesome that that's available. It's not forced on you. It's not mentioned or advertised in the game at all. It's just simply it's available for you for the hardcore to go in there and kind of commemorate their achievements. So I dig it, man. It's really cool. So that sorry, you're gonna say something, Brent?
No, I was gonna say don't forget the book.
Oh yeah, we're gonna hit on the book right now. So that does it for Crimson Days. There wasn't a ton of stuff in this week at Bungie this week. So it's kind of a lighter week because of Crimson Days. They put out a post the day before kind of breaking down that whole event for us. So there wasn't a whole lot to go over in this week at Bungie. They did mention that Titan skating is going to be addressed. This is a PC issue. We don't play too much on PC here, so I won't dwell on this issue on the show here. But if you're someone who has run into issues with Titan skating, there is an update coming in March with update 2.2.0, which is set to address Titan skating on the PC. So be on the lookout for that. One last thing we want to mention here. So a few months back, Bungie started this new publishing program in collaboration with some of the lore masters of the Destiny community. Mylan, I believe, in particular, is involved in the creation of this. But they put together the Destiny Grimoire Anthology Volume 1. So it was a hardcover, like leather-bound book, very well put together, and it was taking basically the grimoire and the lore that's so excellent in the Destiny universe that some of us have never even seen before. And they're taking that and they're publishing it in book form, so we don't have to search through websites or read this guy or listen to that video just to figure out what this stuff's all about and where to find it. So they started that with Volume 1, and now they're coming back with the Volume 2. So I'm happy to see that. Clearly, the first volume had to be successful if they're looking at a Volume 2, and they're bringing out Volume 2 of the Destiny Grimoire Anthology. I will definitely be there to pre-order it on day one. You can actually go on the website right now on the Bungie store, and you can click on the page, and there's a little thing that says email me when this is available. So that's the only thing that you can do on there right now. The items haven't gone up for pre-order just yet. But if you click that little icon, it'll notify you, and then when these things do go live, you'll be able to get on there and pre-order. But in addition to that, they're also collecting some of these comics that they've been creating with the Destiny comic collection. Mm-hmm. So we've got ones dedicated to Osiris, Anna Bray, and some stuff with Cade in there as well. But they're making Volume 1 of the Destiny comic collection as well, which I'm excited about. Yeah, I enjoyed reading some of that stuff online here, so I'm super excited that they're putting that into book form as well with the Destiny comic collection. So I will be pre-ordering both of these. The Destiny comic collection will clock in at 144 pages, which I didn't realize that they had that many comic pages that they had put out. So I must have missed a couple of these. But I'll look forward to sitting down and reading that 144-page volume. It will include never-before-seen stories, behind-the-scenes galleries, and exclusive content from some of the featured artists in the book. And there's some really prominent comic book creators that were involved in the creation of the Destiny comic collection. So very much looking forward to that. And like I said, I really enjoyed the Grimoire Anthology Volume 1. Can't wait to put Volume 2 on the shelf next to that one. Brent, let me get your thoughts on this, man. I know you're excited about this too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first Grimoire Anthology. I actually carry it with me to work, so sometimes I'll hop in there and I'll read a little bit when I'm bored on my breaks at lunch. And it's like you said, it's a well put together book. It's very nice. It's well organized, and there's a lot of good lore in there that you might have missed because you didn't check certain items, or you didn't collect an item, or you don't read through the descriptions. Everything is right there in the book, so that's really nice to have. I have actually never looked at any of the comics. I know they post some of the pages on the internet or up on their site, but I have not seen any of them. So to have that entire collection in one book is really, really enticing, and I'll be pre-ordering that as well.
Yeah, definitely. So looking forward to adding some new reading material to the shelves. So there's some the rest of this week at Bungie was some different fixes that are coming down the pipeline. Crimson Day is going to be added, so nothing of note there that we haven't mentioned before. And that pretty much did it for this week at Bungie. So wasn't a whole lot there, which is why I'm leaning towards next week being a pretty beefy version of this week at Bungie. Yeah. Maybe even getting into the nitty gritty of what Joker's Wild is going to be all about. But that's pretty much it for Destiny this week, Brent. Like I said, this is the calm before the storm, but there's still a lot of stuff to do in the game, as there always is. So if you're a hardcore fan of Destiny, you've got something to do in this game. You've got some weapon to chase. You got something you haven't done yet. There's always something to do in Destiny, and that's one of the really cool things about it. So I haven't had a chance to really play much of anything this week, much less Destiny. So I'm looking forward to next week, really diving in headfirst in the Crimson Days and putting some work into this, because I need to get back into the game and start doing some stuff on my Warlock here.
Yeah, I'm really hoping I can shake this cold and get back down here and get ready to put the grind in next week, because it's, like I said, it's going to be a busy event. You can only have 7 days to knock everything out. And, I just need to get better so I can play with you, buddy.
Absolutely. We will be Crimson Days it up next week. I'm sure we'll be streaming Destiny at some point, so make sure you stay tuned for that. If you like what we do here on Tower Talk, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell so you always know when we go live. Typically, we go live Thursday nights around 10 p.m. Eastern after this week at Bungie has gone live. But occasionally we run into things like Brent being sick. I'm sick. I'm out of town. Who knows what's going on. So hit that little bell so you always know when we go live. But we do Tower Talk each and every week, and we dive into the world of Destiny and what's going on there, what we're doing, yada, 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 and so on and so forth. Also, next week, we'll probably on the show, at some point, I do want to have us discuss what's going on with Anthem and the Division in the games as a service space as it relates to Destiny. So that's a discussion that we'll have coming up soon on one of the upcoming shows. So if you want to be a part of that discussion, definitely subscribe. We want to get you guys in the chat for that one. I think that will be a lively chat there once we get around to that topic. At the Short Pause, how you follow us on Twitter, so you always know when what we're doing, when we're streaming, all that kind of stuff. So make sure you follow us there as well. That's gonna pretty much do it for us this week. Brent, anything else you want to get off your chest, man, besides that phlegm?
No, man, I think that about covers it.
Cool. All right, well, that's gonna do it for us. For Brent, I'm Ben. Thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate you guys stopping by as always. If you weren't able to watch us live, no worries. Just leave some comments down below, and we'll definitely check you guys out. So until next time, thanks for watching. See you guys next week or when we're streaming, whatever. We'll see you guys soon.
Yes, sir. See you guys.
Have a good night.